Here's a psychology insight most people aren't ready for. Your brain literally shuts down your logic when you fall in love. You know that feeling when you ignore every red flag, overlook obvious problems, and swear this person is different? Yeah, that's not just you being hopeful. That's neuroscience. You've probably experienced this. You meet someone, the chemistry is intense, and suddenly you're making excuses for behavior you'd never tolerate from anyone else. Your friends are concerned. You see the warning signs. But somehow, in the moment, none of it seems to matter. You think you're thinking clearly, but your brain has already decided for you. Psychologists call this love blindness, and it's backed by 7 specific psychological patterns that hijack your judgment without you even noticing. Your choices in relationships, the people you're attracted to, even why you stay when you should leave, all connect back to these mental patterns. And the scary part? Most people go their entire lives without understanding how deeply these patterns control them. They just keep repeating the same relationship mistakes, wondering why it always ends the same way. But here's where things get interesting. These aren't random quirks. These are hardwired survival mechanisms your brain uses to keep you attached. And once you see them clearly, you can't unseen them. Here's the uncomfortable truth. When you're in love, your brain releases the same chemicals as cocaine. Dopamine floods your system, creating euphoria. Oxytocin bonds you to this person like glue. And here's the kicker. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for critical thinking and judgment, actually decreases in activity. You're not crazy for ignoring red flags. Your brain is literally chemically impairing your ability to see them. It's choosing the high over your safety. And that's just the first fact. The deeper you go, the more you realize how little control you actually have when emotions take the wheel. But this is only half the story. Because even when the chemicals calm down, there are 6 more psychological tricks keeping you locked in patterns that don't serve you. Let me break this down. Fact number 2. Your brain sees what it wants to see through something called confirmation bias. You focus on the moments they're amazing and dismiss the times they're not. That one sweet text erases 3 days of being ignored. One good date makes you forget a month of inconsistency. Your mind tries to protect the fantasy by filtering out anything that threatens it. Fact number 3. You're attracted to the familiar, not the healthy. If you grew up with unpredictable love, chaos feels like home. Your nervous system recognizes the pattern and mistakes it for compatibility. You think you're choosing passion when you're really choosing what your childhood taught you love looks like. Fact number 4. The fear of loss makes you hold on tighter, even when letting go is the answer. Psychologists call this loss aversion. Your brain weighs potential loss as twice as painful as potential gain. So you stay in mediocre situations because losing what you have feels worse than never finding something better, even when logic says otherwise. For example, let's say someone pulls away and suddenly you want them more. That's not love intensifying. That's your brain panicking at the thought of losing access to your dopamine source. You're not fighting for the relationship. You're fighting to keep the chemical high. If that made you pause, good. Because facts 5, 6, and 7 are going to explain why you keep choosing the wrong people, why you stay too long, and why it feels impossible to break the cycle. Fact number 5. You project your ideal onto people instead of seeing who they actually are. Psychologists call this the halo effect. Because you're attracted to someone, your brain assumes they have other positive qualities they might not actually possess. They smile at you, so they must be kind. They're confident, so they must have integrity. You're filling in blanks with fantasies, not facts. Fact number 6. You rationalize bad behavior because you've already invested. This is the sunk cost fallacy in action. You spent months or years with this person. You've introduced them to your family. You build a life around them. So even when things are clearly not working, your brain says, "But I've already put in so much. I can't walk away now." You're not staying because it's right. You're staying because quitting feels like admitting you wasted your time. But here's the truth. Staying in the wrong relationship doesn't honor your past investment. It just guarantees you'll invest more time in the wrong place. And fact number 7, the one that ties it all together. You believe love should be hard because you've been conditioned to think struggle equals depth. Movies, songs, stories, they all romanticize the fight. So when a relationship is easy and healthy, it feels boring. Your brain misreads peace as a lack of passion. You think if you're not fighting for it, it's not real. But that's not love. That's addiction to the emotional roller coaster your nervous system got hooked on. If any of this is hitting close to home, that's not a coincidence. This is the part most people avoid until they've been through the same cycle 5 times. You've been making choices based on patterns you didn't even know existed. The solution. So here's the shift that actually creates change. Start separating feelings from facts. When you feel that pull towards someone, pause and ask yourself, am I responding to who they actually are or who I hope they'll become? Am I staying because it's healthy or because I'm afraid of starting over? Write down what you're tolerating. If a friend described your relationship to you, what would you tell them to do? And here's the small action that builds awareness. Before you make a decision in your relationship, take 24 hours. Let the dopamine settle. Let your logical brain come back online. You'd be shocked how different things look when you're not riding the chemical wave. It sounds simple, but it works because it gives your prefrontal cortex time to catch up with your emotions. Once you understand these 7 patterns, you stop being a passenger in your own love life. You see the blind spots. You catch yourself repeating the cycle. And most importantly, you realize that real love doesn't require you to shut off your brain. It invites your whole self, logic, intuition, and emotion to show up fully. Your mind is powerful, but so are you when you use that power consciously. The question is, are you ready to see clearly, even if it means admitting you've been blind?